All right. So, continuing the series of the sun through the zodiac signs. Last time I did sun in Sagittarius. This time I'm going to be doing sun in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign. And what is sun? As I said in my previous videos, sun is your ego, it's your sense of identity, it's your sense of purpose and sort of direction in life, and it is your core sort of energy that you express throughout the course of your life. Um, Now, what is Capricorn? Capricorn is the cardinal earth sign ruled by Saturn. Earth always sort of deals with material um, reality, material existence in all its different forms. So the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus is a sign of material, judging different types of materials and pleasurable experiences. Virgo is the sign of judging information and factual information and criticizing information, making sure it holds up to reality. Um, and Capricorn is finally the sign of judgment of action. So it is ruled by Saturn. Saturn rules two signs, they're right next to each other, and these signs are Capricorn and Aquarius. So, of these signs, Capricorn is the more negative sign. And the thing about Saturn that you have to understand is that Saturn is a planet that is, it basically delays all sorts of gratifications throughout your life. So, for instance, if Saturn rules a particular house in your birth chart, which it'll rule two, wherever the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius are, or if Saturn is sitting in a house in your birth chart, which it will be, it's going to delay all sorts of things related to that house or those signs that it rules over, typically until about the age of 30, it takes about 30 years for Saturn to go through all the signs. So when Saturn goes back through all the signs to where it was when you were born, then this sort of barrier can tend to be maybe not entirely lifted, but very much reduced, because you feel like you understand better the areas of your life that Saturn rules. Um, but it takes you about 30 years to get to understand that. And that can be really frustrating if you don't know what's going on. Like, for instance, if Saturn is ruling your like seventh house or something, which is the house of relationships, um, you know, you will constantly be feeling like everybody you get into a relationship with is like running away from you, and you might think you're like really gross or ugly or something, but you're not. You're just under the influence of this particular planet. And if you do get married before the age of 30, when Saturn rules your seventh house, um, typically things will conspire against that relationship. Um, so there's many reasons to understand astrology, but one of them is that, like, if Saturn is ruling a particular house in your life, like for instance, if Saturn is in the second house, a person will tend to struggle with money a lot of their life, and they should understand that, like, yes, they while they still need to like work and do things, but they're probably going to have to work like two or three times as hard as the other person to get those results. But kind of like training with weights, when they do ultimately get that good job that they've been seeking for, usually around the age of 30 or so, they will be much more appreciative of it, and they won't take it for granted like many people might if they've just been given that job like when they're 20 by their like rich dad or something. So that is what Saturn is. Now, to answer the question, what happens when the sun is in the sign of Capricorn? So, because the sun is in the sign of Saturn, um, things related to the sun tend to get pretty heavily delayed over the course of one's life. Um, so, by there should be typically a sense of anxiety that comes into a person's life, particularly around the age of 18, um, or 15, 18, that kind of thing. And honestly, before that too, depending on where Saturn's placed, and this sense of anxiety will be very pressuring, and lots of things that they do will fail for weird reasons. Like they'll kind of feel like the world is cursing them or something, but really, in all honesty, what's actually going on is these people are clearing up a lot of bad things that have happened in their past lives, and they're basically like trying to wipe the slate clean, but they just have so much stuff to deal with that, you know, it just takes like the first 30 years of their life or more to clear out. So these people experience a lot of painful delays early in their professional life, early in their adult life. They might be like unpopular in school because they're dealing with, it's like they're getting crushed under the weight of this enormously heavy energy that is basically trying to like clear out all of the baggage that they've accumulated over the course of like many lives, according to Hindu philosophy. So and you might not believe in past lives or whatever, but basically, you don't necessarily have to believe in past lives to as one of the axioms of astrology, but a lot of astrology is based on stuff that has like happened in past lives. So we'll get more into that when we talk about like the south node of the moon and stuff like that. But basically, for the sun in Capricorn, all you really need to know is that the delays in a person's life will be rather profound over up until about the age of 30, and then after the age of 30 there will be a large transition period, a heavy transition period, and then a sort of rebirth where things will come a lot more easily to them when the sun is in the sign of Capricorn, and they might get the things that they have been working towards much more easily. It's like kind of like training with weights your for the first 30 years of your life, and then after the that first 30 years of your life, the rest of your life, it's like you've been working out, and the weights are gone, so like you have a lot more freedom in order to do the things that you want to do in your life. Also, people with the sun in Capricorn is the version of Saturn that likes order, likes systems, and likes authority. So these people are most secure in their self-esteem when they are in a position of authority, or they're part of a system that they more or less know their place in and they understand. These people are either really good managers or really good like higher level employees under a manager, and they can be really good at organizing systems and making sure that things are running smoothly in their system. Although they definitely don't like being in entry level positions because they have anxiety, and if they're in an entry level position, it sort of reaffirms their anxiety and makes them feel like shit, basically. So these people, I guess to sum up, the two things that these people really need to remember are: one, the first 30 years of life are typically going to be pretty hard and full of like depression, anxiety, and weird losses that are unexpected that other people don't seem to get because they're clearing out essentially just past baggage. And two, these people are really gifted at being in positions of authority or higher level, like being higher level employees. So these two things are good to keep in mind, and that is my video on the sun in the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn. Tune in next time.